All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Touchdowns and Trash Talks. I'm Jay, as always, and I'm here again once time with Big Time Shaun. What's going on, big guy?
It's a great fantasy weekend.
Is it a great fantasy weekend?
Yes.
Did we get a W?
Finally. Finally.
Oh,
No
man.
more zero.
You did. You got your W. You got your W, and you beat
Wow.
Nick. That's the best part, man.
That is the best part because he was texting me after that Sunday night game. Oh, good game. So sorry. Because the CD went off for him. And I was like, oh, all right. Yeah. Still gonna do goose egg.
Yep.
Tyrone who?
Yo, baby.
Tracy Jr.
Look, he goes nuts. He goes nuts for 31 points in this league. Insane. So, if you guys have been following us, this is the redraft league that we have. Me and Shaun both participate in with our buddies that we work with. And Big Shaun was struggling, 0-7 going into the week, my man.
Good God, man. I almost wanted to quit. I said, I'm done. I'm never playing this game again. And then I hit that one good golf shot. And I'm like, oh, I'm back in it.
All right. Well, that's why I play.
Yeah, that's it.
To watch the misery of the other guy who thought he had the W, and I pull it out on Monday night.
With the team that he fought, that he loves.
Oh, yeah. That's the best part. Yeah, because he's a huge Giants fan.
Yes, he is.
So we'll go through our redraft league first. We'll get into the dynasty league second. But it looks like it was a clean sweep, man. Me and you both take the W's down. I took down Blind Squirrel, took down Team Ray as
Nice.
he was struggled. He was on a hot streak. He was 5-2 going into the week. I was 3-4. Needed the W to stay alive for the playoffs. Hold it out. It was an irk. It was a slimmest margin of victory. It was a 139 to 135.86. It was the slimmest margin in the league this week. But yeah, then I noticed down. I looked at because I thought you were done because I saw CD go nuts.
I had already told him, yeah, man, good game. It's great. Because I'd went into that game up by like 25 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then CD, I think, scored close to 40. And I was like, oh, crap. So,
Yeah, but
then Tyrone Tracy breaks off that 45-yard touchdown run. I'm like, oh, I might have pulled this out.
Man, that was good stuff, man. Good stuff. I love it.
Especially when he was, texting me back after the game. Oh, good game. So sorry.
Yeah, that's the best part is when, especially with Nick, because he, he loves his Giants. He loves his Mets. And of course, Mets are gone from the playoffs, eliminated. And for him to go in this week, thinking he had a W, ease the pain. His Giants costing me, which is even better. Man, that brings, I didn't even realize that. So that just brings more joy to my Tuesday. That's awesome.
It uplifts my whole week. Because
he did. He had the best wide receiver of the week, of course, was CD. I mean, it was just hyper target CD all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, so you are out of the gutter. No more zero in the win column. You get your first dub. Now you're tied with you got Rice Kevin with the 1-7 records.
Oh,
and then
correct me if I'm wrong though. He owes like $9 billion in fab money. So
oh man,
I think I'm winning that one.
He is juicing the pot this year. I will tell you that he is definitely juicing the pot. Man, I think in all my leagues, I think I pulled out W's in all my leagues except for one that I'm with my cousin and back east. I think he had CD Lamb going on Sunday night, and I ended up losing that one. So yeah, CD Lamb cost me in that league. I was hoping for the clean sweep, but hey, I'll take the dubs. I'll take an 8-1 week.
A good win.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
So especially in that big league, those losses cost a lot of money. That's getting a little brutal. I was hoping for some high scores, but man, everybody went off this week. This was a huge fantasy week.
Yeah, there was like 2 or 3, and just in our league, the redraft league, I think there was 2 of them that were in 200-point leagues, 200-point scores, and I was just like,
close.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Babu, Steve had 197. He almost got to the 200 mark, and fucking Team Natan. The man is so bad at this, he can't even come up with an original team name. This is just embarrassing. This is the most embarrassing year of fantasy football yet.
Can we just slow pay him throughout the year?
No, we're gonna pay him.
Here's $1. Here's $1, Nathan.
Either that, we're just gonna pay him all in change. Hey, here's your big bag of money. Just give it to him in nickels.
Here's your wheelbarrow of pennies, buddy. Come get it.
Come get it, buddy. Oh man, but yeah, it was a big week for both of us, pulling out the W, especially against some of these guys that are vying for playoff positions. And I mean, I hate to say it, it's still open. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna make a comeback, but
no,
I think you're done.
But I'm mathematically out. There's no way. But I can play spoiler.
Spoiler. You definitely play spoiler, that's for sure, because there's still 8 legit teams vying for playoff spots. You and Kevin, I think, are completely out, but I think there's still 8 of us that are still in the runnings.
Yeah, I knocked Nick down. I mean, he was trying to go 5-3, and I knocked him down to 4-4. So
he goes down to 4-4. I'm 4-4. Lee is 4-4. Those of you who've been listening to this show for a while, Lee is 4-4. So yeah, it's in third and fourth place are 5-3. So everybody's still in it. Except for Team Nathan, that guy. Jesus Christ. How in the world?
What is he, like 7-1?
He's 7-1 in the redraft league. And then Babu is in second.
He didn't even want to play in this league.
This world's coming to an end. I can't even justify any of this going on. So we get the dubs.
Dogs and cats living together.
Oh, the pigs are going to fly tomorrow.
Pigs are going to fly.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I know I've spent a little bit of fab money in that league. I think the only one that really hasn't spent any money is friggin' Natan. He's only spent like $9.
He hasn't had to spend any money. His auto draft is just rolling hot.
I know his auto draft is rolling hot. Damn it, this guy.
Next year I'm auto draft. You can finally take one again. Just let him know.
I'm not even showing up. Just give me the best of the board.
Exactly.
All right, so we did pull out the dubs there. I am still in the playoff hunt, unfortunately, Shaun. But you don't go winless. You're not the Detroit Lions, so that's a good. All right, to our dynasty league. If any of those of you are unfamiliar with dynasty, this is players you get to keep all year long. You pretty much build your team from the ground up, and as you make trades, draft picks for rookies, you were trying to build the best team, and that one was a little suspect. I pulled out a victory last week. I was shocked at that, but I was playing George, and George's team is pretty bad this year.
Yeah, George is having an off year.
Yeah, he's not having a great one. So, did you pull out the victory in that one?
Of course.
Oh yeah, you beat Natan's dynasty league team to get to 5 and to destroyed them. Hey man, see, this is more like Natan. This is more what I expect.
This is a league this is a team he actually drafted. So this is normal.
This is what I expect to see. 99 points. He can't even break 100. That's what I expect to see from Natan. There we go. Okay, all is right in the world right there. When I look at that screen, but those of you at home, it is interesting to watch these guys play and some of the things that go on in these dynasty leagues. It is a lot of fun. I am sitting at 3-5. You are still very much in the playoff hunt.
I think I'm sitting in third position at 5-3, something like that.
Yeah, you are in. You know what? No, you were in a 1 through 6 tie. Everybody 1 through 6 is 5-3. So I don't. You know what? I don't think anybody's out of it.
It's going to be a horse race to go.
It's a horse race
in this league.
Yeah, but the injuries have just crushed everyone. It is crushed everyone. Everyone has had to be on the move. Everybody's picking up players left and right all day long.
Yeah, I know this coming week I have to hope that Dallas Goedert comes back, or I'm just going to be pissing and moaning for a tight end.
Yeah.
I think, because I know Kittle's on bye this week.
Kittle will be on bye this week. That's going to be a rough one. Some of these teams that are on bye is going to hurt people.
Like the guys, the later buys. Mm-hmm. The teams with all the later buys are mostly all really good teams.
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh no, I can't replace him. This is not good.
This can be. It is still wide open. 1 through 6 is 5-3. I'm in 8th, but I'm 7-8. We're both 3-5. So actually, we're still in it. We're still wow.
A quick three win. Gone. You're good.
Yeah, some key losses. We should. Yeah, hey, all right. We'll keep trucking along in that league. But yeah, we both pull out the W in that league. you demolished, man. That was a heck of a week by your team. I'll tell you that. You had the high score of the week.
Yeah. It's finally everybody showed up and was like, hey, look, I remember how to get in the end zone.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts came through for you in a big way because, I mean, I was looking, that was a slow start. That was a slow start for Hurts, man. I was worried about that one.
Yeah, I just knew it had to gel between what they were wanting to do with Saquon and what they were wanting to continue to do with Jalen.
Yeah.
So if he gets within the 5-yard line, it's going to be the tush push. I mean, you saw it like 3 times. They could have let Saquon score, and they're like, nah, this is Jalen Hurts territory.
Yeah.
So and Devontae Smith finally decided to show up and catch some balls. AJ Brown did his usual thing. The only thing they're really missing right now in offense is their tight end coming back.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Goddard being out.
Pretty good right now.
No, I mean, yeah, hey, and great call on. I know you traded up in this year's draft for the pick of Jaden Daniels because you really wanted him. Good move so far, man. Hey, he's looking like he's legit. He's a legit fantasy player for sure. And that
I played him last week, and he and the first one he got hurt, but he was still scored enough to secure the win.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was a good move because now, I mean, you're sitting pretty with the quarterbacks. You can interchange them. You got Daniels and Hurts. I mean, worst case scenario, if you need to, you can always trade one of them off if you're hurting at a position. And
easy. Let's not
just saying, I do have some running backs. You're a little late in that area. Just putting that out there. You're a little late in that area.
Because my dumbass traded 3 running backs off season.
Well, that's what. Yeah, you had those running backs and you traded those guys to get the pick, Jaden Daniels, and unfortunately for me, I've got C.J. Stroud as my QB1, and unfortunately, I mean, it's just been a rough year using him in fantasy. It's not been very good, and it's just going to get worse, I think.
With Nico Collins going down, that hurt him a lot. Because that was his big play, big play receiver, touchdown receiver. And then
now losing Diggs.
Right. Yes, Stephon Diggs getting hurt. So
did they finalize our report? I forgot to check this morning. Did they come out and say it was an ACL?
I haven't seen anything come across the wire yet about it.
Yeah. I mean, it sure as hell looked like an ACL. When he went down, it was no contact. We went down. As soon as he went down, I saw it. I went, well, there's an ACL right there.
Gotta love those no contact soft tissues.
Those are the ones you got to worry about, guys. Those are the ones you got to worry about. But yeah, everybody had a big week. I got some good points out of Terry McLaurin. I, of course, switched early in the year and ended up picking up Cade Otton, who had a huge week for me on National Tight End Day.
But the greatest day of the year.
Yeah,
day of the year.
Greatest day of the year. But yeah, I mean, what advice would you give the players that have, like, say, in my position with C.J. Stroud going forward? Would you look to keep him on your bench and maybe look to see if you can stream somebody else? Because it could be a rough go at it for the next few weeks until he gets at least Nico Collins back.
Right. Just for your, because I'm not looking at your team right now. Who is your backup?
I don't have one because I just rolled with C.J. Stroud because I had Tua. Tua was my backup, and then when Tua went down with the head injury, of course in our league we keep a very small bench that forces you to make moves.
Right.
I decided to drop Tua because I didn't know who I wanted to pick up later on, and I figured in a 1 QB league there's always going to be somebody available on the bye week. But now it looks like I might have to just go with somebody else and see what's available on the waivers.
I mean, you could try to make a trade in the thing, but you're going to give up C.J. Stroud and probably something else.
Yeah.
To get a quarterback. Like, for instance, if you were trying to trade with me to pick up Jaden Daniels, you're going to give up C.J. Stroud and maybe a running back or at least a high draft pick for the next year.
For the foreseeable future. And then, I mean, I'm looking at the waivers right now. The options I've got looking at it is, you got Stafford, you got Geno Smith. Tua, of course, is still there. Jameis Winston.
You shouldn't have said Stafford because he's going to get picked up.
Yeah,
with Puka and Cooper going back like they did.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be like a number 1 waiver wire for anybody that's having troubles.
Yeah, so there's a few options out there. Hell, I might even go with the Taysom Hill.
You might want to go with Joe Flacco because I think they're going to bench AR-15.
It looks like AR-15 is terrible. So we'll get more into the discussion of AR-15 in our studs and duds portion of the show. But yeah, I mean, I think I got to, right? I can't play CJ Stroud, and I'd advise anybody who has Stroud to look at your waiver wires and see if you can pick somebody up like a Stafford, or if you can make a trade for a quarterback before it's too late.
Yeah, just because his wide receiver room is so depleted. When Tank Dell is your number one going into the next week, it's going to be kind of rough.
It's going to be a tough one.
5'6".
Yeah, it's going to be a tough go at it for this. I don't
have
know.
him. I think I have him in the redraft league, so I'm hoping for 32 targets. But other than that, I don't expect much from him.
Yeah. Here's another good question for you. Looking at the future, of course, I've got Travis Etienne. This is for Dynasty guys in general. Travis Etienne. What do you do with him going forward?
He's going to be traded. He's going to be cut or traded in the offseason. So if you can move him, I think you move him. I don't know who's going to be out there to bite.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get as much as what you would have in the beginning of the season. But if you can trade him for, a player this year and maybe a third round pick in the dynasty leagues for next year, I think you could pull the trigger.
Yeah,
I think that'd be pretty decent. You're not going to get the value that you think you should get for him just because they don't use him like they are going to. And he has been downgrading, or he's been on a downward slope since week 2, week 3?
Yeah. I mean, of course, they've implemented more Tank Bigsby. And I think best case scenario with Travis Etienne, he comes back and he takes that receiver role back and it becomes maybe you're hoping at best a 50-50 split, but Tank Bigsby, it looked good. Travis Etienne, they did pick up the 5th-year option, so if they choose to keep him, he is there for one more season. But now you could be a little rough.
The only reason they picked it up is I think they're going to trade him, so they want to get some value out of him because this 5th-year option isn't that much for the rookie to hit. You're saying that you hope he's the receiver role. There was a player a few years back that made just meal time out of that with Percy Harvin. Catching balls out of the backfield the entire time of his career. So, if they can try to do that with him, that would be great. But I still think you just try to move on.
Yeah,
you got to try to move on.
Well, no, I know I've been kind of dwelling on that one and seeing if there might be any takers out there. I don't think I'm going to get any return for it that I'm going to like. Unfortunately, maybe I just ride it out and see what situation he falls in. Because if he does fall in a decent situation where, it's a 50-50 split, then he's worth the jump back up.
Or if he gets traded to a team that is quarterback hungry, you still have, like the Raiders need a quarterback, they need a running back. They need everything, but they need a running back. Washington needs a running back because Brian Robinson is good, but he's not a legitimate 3-down back, I don't think. Not with the skills that they're looking.
Yeah. That's kind of the same situation. That's what they went and got Eckler because Brian Robinson's kind of not the receiving back that you hope for. He's at between the tackles. And, of course, Etienne fits in that same Eckler role where you're looking to get him out in space. That's where they thrive. So, it could be interesting. I mean, I could see somebody like the Raiders maybe trying to make a move because they are hungry for a running back, any kind of running back.
Hungry for so many beats. Just many beats.
Yeah, that's a brutal situation. But, we did pull out the victories. We are all still in the playoff hunts in our Dynasty League, which I didn't think being 3-5, I had a shot, but there's an outside shot at making the playoffs here with some possibility of making a good run here. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Just keep feeding that piggy, baby.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, exactly. I was ready to cut ties, be like, I'm moving on. And I am looking at, oh my God, how much fab? Oh, that's right. Kevin has spent so much fab with his $108 pickup of Isaiah Pacheco, and he was the only one who bid on him.
Who will not play for the entire rest of the season.
Yeah.
May not play for next season.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Where the break was.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. That's going to be a rough shot. I mean, there was an outside chance when the injury did happen that he could come back, but that's all gone. And who knows if he's going to be the same running back after this.
Correct. And they're 8-0. It's not like they're trying to rush him back. Yeah. They're like, nah, go ahead, buddy, you're good.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. And, the way he runs, I don't see him being the same ever again, to be honest with you. Because he's that angry type runner.
He's angry at the ground.
Oh, he's just pissed off at the ground, and he just runs. And I just don't think he's going to be that same explosiveness guy that you had there before. Unfortunately, it sucks to see because he was such a good talent. I know he cost me in a ton of leagues, especially in the big leagues I'm in. It cost me a bunch.
I hope he comes back at 90% of the player that he was when.
Oh, if he does, he'll still be halfway decent if he does. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, that was our fantasy week review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully the guys in our league are listening. And you know what, Natan, go suck it. I can't stand that fact you're winning in the redraft league. That's all I have to say to you. That's all I have to say. This is ridiculous.
I think we should record that clip and just have an easy button. It's just click Natan, go suck it.
Can't stand this. Something wrong with the world when Team Natan is winning. I mean, this is the guy who's picked up 3 kickers in 1 week before.
And didn't start the ones that he picked up.
No, yeah, exactly. You know, because it's just Natan being Natan. I mean, look, come on. It can't even come up with a team name. It's just Team Natan. Nathan, if you're listening, come up with a name, man. Change your team name. Come on, get with it, buddy. Enough is enough. We've been Dynasty League. We've been doing this for 3 years now. Let's go. Oh, all right. Moving on. Big topics of the week. The Jets still suck.
Yes. And coach hit who they need to. And
what do you do if you're the Jets now? I mean, do you just get rid of Rodgers and just say, hey, listen, we're just going to cut ties, man. It's time to go. See you later.
He's making some old move. This is his last year. I see them bringing him back, and he's under a 2-year contract, but I don't see him doing anything after this. I'm at a loss of just watch. The week before, the Jacksonville Jaguars destroyed the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, whatever they wanted to do, they did it. And then come this week, and it's just Jets can't do a thing very well. I mean, they do a lot of things, and none of them really that great. So I'm at a loss. They just suck.
Nice. You know what? And they got rid of they fired their head coach, Robert Saleh, and I think you got rid of the best coach you had on staff, and now they look even worse. Even defensively, they look bad.
Well, they got rid of Nathaniel Hackett too. So he was the worst coach on staff. He was.
I forgot about Hackett.
Yeah, people did. But with Salah, he never really looked like he had control of the team.
No, it's because they gave all the control to Rodgers, man.
Yeah, once brought in Rodgers, it was like he was just kind of like a puppet.
Yeah, that was it. You're just going to bend to my will. I want this. And they've given everything. You can't say there's a lack of skill players on that team because that's all they've got is a ton of skill players, especially on that offense. And the fact that offense, because Rodgers, well, I don't like motion. Man, Jesus Christ. Get with the times, bro. Their
offensive line can't figure out a snap count.
No.
So
you went out there and tried to improve that offensive line. I think it looks about the same as it did last year. It looks brutal.
I mean, he hasn't tore his Achilles yet. So
okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, they got that going for him. He's got that going for him.
To week 8 instead of 5 plays in. So
yeah,
that's an upgrade.
That's an upgrade. Yeah, I think maybe he's gonna pull something this next week. Oh no, time to sit down.
He's gonna be like, I woke up with some shoulder soreness.
Yeah, exactly. Suffering from old man injuries.
Yeah, just waiting for that card to play.
So yep.
So you just sit there on the bench and collect his money and just continue to screw this organization over.
Oh man, because Zach Wilson is the one loving it because he's in Denver going, it wasn't me.
And he's also on the bench going, it's not going to be me either.
Yeah, exactly.
Go.
Yeah, go Bo. How to play quarterback, Bo knows.
Bo knows.
Oh, we're bringing it back, baby.
That's right.
But yeah, the Jets are in dismay. I think they could finish last in that division, and I wouldn't be shocked at this point.
Shouldn't they finish last? Even with Tua going down with how bad that injury was and how bad they did, shouldn't the Jets actually end the last? I think it would be the Patriots, but the Jets.
Oh, my God. For so much talent on that team, it's such a bad team. And I mean,
they don't.
I can't figure it out.
It has to do with leadership. It has to be.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, It's 100% on Rodgers.
Oh, absolutely.
I think.
I believe it's all on Rodgers' shoulders. And listen, everybody thinks, okay, yeah, you can play into your 40s. Brady proved you can play into your 40s. The thing about Brady was he was a guy that he was a unifier. Like, he brought the team together. You wanted to win for that guy. You didn't want to let Tom Brady down. That's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not a team guy.
No, he's even come out and said it in the team meetings. He doesn't talk.
No, he is not gonna unify that team where they're gonna be like, listen, this is the mission. Let's go get it done. That's what Tom did. Tom did that very well, and he held everyone accountable, including himself. Rodgers, he just points the finger at everybody else. This is almost like Rodgers does nothing wrong, and it's always everyone else's fault.
Yeah, I mean, there's no argument in that whole statement that you came up with, because he's all about me.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? He's just, maybe he needs another dark retreat. Go sit in a corner, Rodgers. Just get out of the way. And now you're just in the way of everybody else. There's got to be somebody. My God, they could have went and drafted Bo Nix and had better production out of the QB position.
Bo Nix is one of my studs of the week.
Oh man, I almost started him. I was torn because I had Burrow in my daily fantasy lineup that I play with Kevin and Rick, and I didn't pull the trigger, and I should have. I was like, man, I want to start Bo Nix this week rather than Joe Burrow in that.
He is, and like, he's made leaps and bounds.
Oh, absolutely.
It comes in that Sean Payton offense. Now he's throwing, instead of, when he first started, he's a 1 touchdown guy, one read go. Now in the last 2 weeks, he's had at least 3 touchdowns per week, and you're just like, oh, come be the next Drew Brees for me.
I mean, at least he's using his legs. You know, he's still making the rookie mistakes. Of course, that's always going to be the case. This is a whole different game compared to college, but at least I think more so he's more mentally prepared for the ups and downs of it, and it looks like that's showing where he's not going to let the failures just get to him. He's going to be like, okay, just one more foot in front of the other, get better each week. And that's just...
Well, he's him and Penix were the 2 oldest rookies, right?
Yeah, because he played, what, 5 or 6 years in college?
Yeah, something like that. He started his career in Auburn and ended in Oregon.
Yeah.
So he's seen really good defenses and bad defenses.
Yeah. And he's played in multiple offensive systems, so he can play. And he's looked good everywhere he's played. You know, he's looked decent everywhere he's played. So he can pick up, offenses, unlike, Deshaun Watson, who finally, when it came out that they had to bring Clemson's office in there because they can't teach him anything new. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see him coming back from this Achilles injury.
Yeah, you will, because you're paying him so much money. You're like, well, we got no other choice.
He gets it regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
He could go the way of, remember Jamarcus Russell?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He's going to pull the Russell. Browns fans aren't going to be mad about that.
No, they were clapping and happy that
that was listen, that was kind of messed up. Think if a guy's going to go down because he got hurt, I mean, come on, I'm not cheering because the guy got hurt. I mean, that's kind of messed up. I get it.
They were very happy.
Yeah,
he was no longer on the field.
Yeah, they weren't cheering that he got off the field. They were cheering that he was leaving the field. So, that was kind of messed up, but I do feel the Browns' pain. It was rough to watch. I mean, especially you see Joe Flacco, old man River, just...
Okay, so you brought up Joe Flacco. I don't know if you just saw the news. They have officially benched AR-15.
Have they officially? Yeah, I thought they were going to do. I know the coach. You know what? And it didn't look good last week, too, when he took himself out of the game because I was a little tired.
What quarterback takes himself out of their game?
I've never saw Michael Vick do that, and he ran all over that field the entire game.
No. I've never even heard. Most quarterbacks are, dying on the field, let alone... I'm just a little tired. I'm a little winded.
I'm a little winded. And I'm like...
some water.
Oh, yeah. If you don't want you're winded, you know what they did? Oh, we're going to hand this ball off because daddy needs a break.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just a quick old handoff. Here, go run. Because I need to catch my breath. And when they did
hand the ball off, their offense started clicking because Jonathan Taylor is still the best running backs in the league.
Yeah. So that puts everybody back in play for fantasy. Josh Downs, he looked good, even with a crappy quarterback. Puts Michael Pittman back in play.
Before that, he had a passer rating or incompletion percentage of 44.4, which is the worst at all time.
Terrible. He's just
all time.
Did you see his numbers? He's one above Tebow. But at least Tebow took a team to the playoffs and won a game. Hey, I give him that one. But when your stat line,
Tebow, the Steeler destroyer.
if you are just one above Tim Tebow, come on, man, it's over. It's over. You should have. I remember I said it when he got drafted. I said, why would you draft this kid? He can't throw the football.
No, he can't.
He's okay. Put that big guy in at tight end. And that was what Tebow should have done when he came in the league. Is made that transition right away.
Instead of waiting 5 or 6 years or however long
until he waited until he was like 28, 29, and dude, you're just old in the league. You wasted all that time. So unfortunately, it didn't work out. But I don't see this working out. I think this is a good move by the Colts. Listen, if you want to try to develop this kid, great, good for you. Do it on the side. Just putting him on the field is not developing. You got to go with that Green Bay Packers method. Okay, he didn't have a whole lot of starts. We're gonna sit you back here for about 3 years, and then when you're ready, we'll play you. I mean,
because Jordan Love looked coming along really well. I mean,
because he had kind of the same MO. He didn't have a whole lot of game time. His accuracy was in question when he came out. Let him sit back. Let him learn. I mean, I get it. You drafted him with, what was it, the 3rd pick?
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to eat it for a few years.
Yeah. The bad thing is he didn't have anybody to learn behind.
Yeah. I mean, you need a good coach, and he did not get that portion.
And there was no quarterback that he could actually learn behind. They had Gardner Minshew before they drafted him.
Yeah, well, that's where you should have went out and got somebody like Flacco the first few years, and you could have played Joe because he's been to the top of the mountain. He knows what it takes to win. Yeah, he's never been the athletic one, but he can help in reading defenses, which this kid does not do very well. Does not hit open receivers. He does not throw accurate passes. Yeah, I don't know. That's just my thought.
The resurgence of Joe Flacco is mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did well in Cleveland,
and
now he's probably going to do pretty decent in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
How fast does he have to see the field and know what defense is going to run just for him? Because he's always had a good ball. He's always had a fast release. But he's always been really slow, and he's gotten older, so he's even slower.
Yep.
So how fast does he pick up on what they're trying to do for a deep? It's mind-blowing to see him succeed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Joe Flacco. He's always been a class act. Good for him to get, he's played he was sitting on the couch, last year, right? When Cleveland called. So, good for him.
He was just chilling.
Man, good for him. He proves that, that the quarterback position still, the most important part is still between the ears. So, if you can get it between the ears, you will be successful for a very long time. So, good for him. Next big topic we want to talk about, of course, just to rub it into Nick, is our man, Tyrone Tracy.
It sucks so bad that with 4 minutes left, he goes out with a concussion. But before then, 20 carries, 100 and something, 30 yards and a touchdown, a couple of catches. The kid was on fire.
Yeah. This is kind of what worried me with Tyrone Tracy because he is a converted receiver. Yeah. Can he physically play the position of running back and be that workhorse running back that, everyone looks for now and everybody wants a guy that they can count on in those, those first and second down situations. And with Tyrone Tracy, if you can do that and he can play a 3-down back. And I just don't know. Can he do it?
He was doing a little bit of everything. The play that he got blown up on, Cam Hayward came in like, nah, we're done.
He was mad. He's mad.
Like, nah, I'm still on the field and I don't need to be. He just, dang. The back of his head bounces off the carpet and Hayward looks down at him and just looks over at the bench and goes, oh, you come get your boy.
Yeah, I mean, the kid looks good. The kid looks good. That offensive line is improved. As much as people say it's not great, but it is improved compared to last year. Daniel Jones, of course, now with Malik Neighbors there, does have a legitimate target. He hasn't looked fantastic, but he's looked like he's comparable. He can, until you get another guy you want to bring in there. Yeah, Daniel Jones is not the answer by any means, but
they're definitely drafting a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely, you have to at this point. You've given him every opportunity.
Yeah, they have too many usable weapons. I wouldn't say top tier weapons, but too many usable weapons to be where they're at.
And listen,
and to be putting up the points that they're putting up.
Yeah, and that defense is nothing to be. And that defense is not bad. That defense is pretty good.
Yeah, their linebackers are good. Their defensive lines are good. Their cornerbacks are a little sus.
Yeah,
and their free safety that they lost is a little off. But for the most part, they have a really good bones for their defense. You know, going back to the offensive side of the ball, you got Neighbors, you got Wandale Robinson, you got Sterling or not? You got Slayton, Darius Slayton.
Yep.
They could use a tight end.
That new tight, that Theo, was it Theo Thompson? That young, he's a rookie. He looked, he had a couple moments. He looks pretty good. I mean, that guy you can coach up, and you know, I think he might be something pretty good. I looked at that guy, and he doesn't look half bad. He looks like he could mold into something decent.
And I like Daboll's offense. I wish they would use a fullback a little bit more often, because I think Tracy would do better with an extra blocker in front of him. Or if you can convert Devin Singletary down into a fullback role, because he does run hard, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. The Motor is. Listen, Motor is a good. I'd say like mentor running back, especially for this young kid. I think that's a good fit with those two in the backfield. Because Singletary has always been that guy, and he's always worked his butt off. So that's a good guy to learn from.
Did you see Singletary try to pick up that Highsmith's middle linebacker? Or I don't think it was Highsmith. I don't remember what. Middle linebacker comes in on a blitz. The guard shoves him inside like he's supposed to. Singletary steps up and just gets obliterated.
Oh, did he? Oh, I missed that. I missed it.
And then he just like, oh, get off me. And then he sacks Daniel Jones. I was like, oh, because you can't go low on him because he's engaged with a lineman. So he goes shoulder to chest, and it's like, nope.
Oh man,
that was a bad idea.
No, I did miss a lot of the game. I did. We had martial arts. Jay said martial arts last night, so I was trying to watch some of the game on my phone, but then I could tell I was being that dad. You know.
Oh, don't be that dad.
I was like, all right, turn this off. All right, let me take photos.
Yay. If I don't take something, mom's going to be mad.
Yeah, exactly. What's my fantasy team doing? Oh, man. Yeah, that's when I had to just turn the clicker, the ticker on and just get updates on the scores. All right, who scored? All right. That's good. All right, good. That didn't hurt me.
Nice.
But yeah, I could tell. I was getting this look from the mom sitting next to me like, really? You're watching the football game?
Your son is right there.
Right there. Right there.
It's like, yeah, but my son is like 5 people back, and it'll be up in like 5 minutes.
He's so short, I can't see him. Oh, but yeah, it was fun. Yeah, so I did miss a lot of the game. But the big topic of the week, it was National Tight Ends Day.
The greatest day of any fat boy's life is watching the tight ends go off. Because you're like, that could have been me.
Oh, man. And it was especially, I remember I was sitting there I was watching Red Zone with my old man, and he goes, is this scripted? Because it's National Tight Ends Day, they're just going to throw the ball to the tight ends all day long? I'm like, hey, man, I don't know. This is getting out of control here. Everybody's scoring touchdowns as a tight end.
The most receptions, the most touchdowns, the most attempts towards a tight end to date.
Yeah,
was this past weekend, and it was great.
And I'm really happy Travis Kelce shaved that old man mustache off, and so he's actually looked better after he got rid of the old man mustache. Stopped giving mustache rides in the locker room. Apparently, he's back. He's back. He finds his way into the end zone.
Yeah, that was his first touchdown for 92 receptions or something.
Yeah, it was like the last 13 games or something like that. It was something ridiculous. It was a big number of games where he hasn't had a touchdown, and I didn't realize it was that many games that he didn't have a touchdown.
I mean, you don't. That's just something you don't think about when you're like, oh, Kelce, he must have scored, because he's always getting like 15, 19, 20 points or something in fantasy ball. Yeah. So it's just like, you had to put in at least some work.
But no, not to get touchdowns in that long. I was kind of shocked. That was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But tight end day was a big success. It was a record-breaking touchdown total for the tight ends, and I think every game Was it every game? Did they have a tight end touchdown in Monday night?
No.
So I think that's the
No.
only game that did not have a tight end scoring it.
Yeah. No, I don't think the Titans scored. I know Darnell Washington did really well for Pittsburgh. Did Freiermuth get in the end zone? I don't think he did.
Did they not let the
No,
Muth?
because
The Muth did not get
no,
loose.
no, the move did not get loose. No, because Russell Wilson only threw one touchdown,
Oh, okay.
and Daniel Jones did not throw a touchdown to his tight end. So, yeah, that was the only game that didn't
Yeah,
didn't amount to much.
Yeah, I know. I remember because I was listening, and I didn't realize that every game had scored. And then the Sunday night game came on, and it was a Mike Tirico goes, "Are we going to be the only game that didn't?" Because he got to the second half, and they're like, "We're going to be the only game that didn't get a touchdown for the tight." And when Kittle's go like, "All right, we're off the schneid. All right, there we go."
You know, Kittle's gonna have a touchdown on his day.
He's got to, man. The man created National Tight Ends Day. Oh, too funny. Too funny. That was great.
You should be happy with your 49ers finally came back, looked a little good.
I thought they were going to give that game up. When they gave the ball back to Dallas with time on the clock, I was like, here we go. And they were just clicking. CD and Dak were clicking. I'm like, my God, we can't stop CD Lamb. I thought
I
for
don't
sure we were going to lose.
understand why it took them to the last 3 minutes of the third quarter and all of the fourth quarter to start throwing the ball to CD Lamb.
I don't. It looked like every play was just a check down to Jake Ferguson. That's what it looked like. I don't know.
Dak's like, I can go deep with this. I can go, nope, here's Ferguson.
But, Dak has not looked the same. Have you noticed, before there was some mobility to Dak Prescott, you don't see any mobility anymore. Do you notice that? He doesn't run the ball whatsoever.
Does his ankle still give him problems?
I don't know. Last year, I mean, he averages about 200 rushing yards a year. You know what he's on pace for this year?
70?
70 yards.
Really?
70 yards.
That was a guess.
Yeah. He's on pace for 70 rushing yards for the season.
Oh, my God.
That's a guy who's he's not moving. He's not creating time in the pocket anymore. This offense looks a little lazy at times. I got to say it. They look a little lazy at times.
They are underachieving massively.
Yeah.
That defense is just giving up chunks, and I don't know why they're. I don't understand how they're giving up as much yardage as they're giving up. They can't stop anything up the middle.
Nah.
Their sacks are down. Their interceptions are down.
It's going to be it's a rough time, but
dead air because there's just I don't know what to say.
Yeah, you almost expected a little bit better coming off the bye week to be a little more crisp, and then they weren't. I mean, they weren't awful, but they were flat in the first half. You would have thought they would have come out fiery, coming off the bye. And that's
they don't have a run game.
No,
when you had to bring in Dalvin Cook back, and he's just as old as Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they need a running back. They got to draft a running back.
Well, do you think, because it looked like Rico Dowdle is probably the better running back that's out of it in that running back room? Not to say that Rico Dowdle is great.
I think it's just because he's the youngest,
but he everybody said he was fine, and then all of a sudden they said, "Oh yeah, he's got an illness." Was that because how Elliott was complaining about not getting enough touches? Do you think that had play in it?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think you bench your 21-year-old running back for the 35-year-old running back, or however old Ezekiel Elliott is.
He feels like he's 35. That's for sure. He looks like he's 35.
His longest run of the last 2 seasons was 15 yards, and I think that was just last game. So
yeah, it's been rough. Yeah, Dalvin Cook looked just as slow and unexplosive as he did with the Jets last year. I just don't see that. I don't see that being the answer. But
yeah, the only running back that hasn't hit that cliff is the Yeti.
Yeah, the Yeti. But you know what? When we talked about it on the show, when you spend that much money in healthcare and keeping your body in physical top shape, I guess you could fight back a few years and give yourself a little extra time, because that boy is running, and he still runs hard. He looks good. Yeah, still looks explosive too.
Mm-hmm.
So
as many hits as he takes, you would think that he would just, his knees would be shot or his ankles would be shot, but no, he's just trucking right along.
But But yeah, it was a great day for the tight end. So National Tight End Day was a success. Good job for all the tight ends. I mean, good job. Everybody's bench was scoring points because nobody was playing tight ends. Nobody.
Oh, I had my tight ends.
Oh,
Up
did
there.
you?
What
Yeah,
I'm
did
talking
you?
about.
I think I only played tight ends in leagues I had to. If there was, because a lot of leagues went to no tight ends just because it's just been one of those positions that's been kind of dying off. And, everybody goes, well, unless you get like 3 or 4, the top ones, there's no tight end. I mean, there's nothing there. So everybody's kind of gone to that flex option. So unless I had to play a tight end, I was not playing one. But Cade Otten was the one tight end in my leagues that I was playing, and he went nuts. So thank you, Cade, for a big game. I love it. And yeah, tight end day was a success. So we will get into the studs and duds. Shaun, why don't you give me your duds of the week? Rank them from 3 to 1.
From 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk, yeah.
Who
we've learned is out for the season.
Yeah, that's number 2 dud of the week. I know who my number 1 dud of the week
All right,
is.
give me your number 1, man.
That's going to be Richardson.
Oh, baby, AR-15. Come on.
AR-15 is definitely my dud of the week, man.
He had a great lucky play to Josh Downs down the sideline.
Yeah. Then he's like, no, I don't need to play anymore.
No. I need a break. I'm tired. What? You just walked to the water cooler.
Yes. Definitely not.
I'm exhausted. Yeah. Well, duds of the week I got, here we go. Drake London, who did absolutely nothing in the game where you thought that, you knew Kirk Cousins was going to have a game because of who they were playing. And Drake London did not do much, if I remember correctly, right?
Right.
Did not have a huge game. I think he had some receptions, no touchdowns for him. Kenneth Walker, who had a bad game, which so did the rest of that Seattle offense. And the worst part,
you kind of expected the Seattle offense to suffer because DK was out.
Well,
so when DK's out, they're very stymied.
Yeah,
is the word. They're very lackadaisical on offense. So there's no explosion there.
I was just hoping to get 1 touchdown, but then of course towards the end of the game with that snapped ball that goes way over Geno Smith's head, like 30 yards down the field.
Yeah.
And Kenneth Walker does the best job he can trying to get more yards back. Still goes for a loss of 20. And he goes on his stats. You bastard. I was like, no, I'm trying to get high score this week. Stop losing 20 yards on a rush. All of a sudden, why did my points drop so dramatically? Oh my God, minus 20 on a rushing attempt. How the hell did that happen? Ugh. Brutal.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's brutal.
That's just my personal feelings with Kenneth Walker. He just destroyed me in my high score attempts for money. But the number 1 I thought was, because I know a lot of people, he was trending. People were believing him to play this game. They thought it was going to be a barn burner shootout, and it really wasn't. Was Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears? He looked awful. I mean, I've listened to it on the radio. It's one of those things where usually when you see somebody lose by a Hail Mary, you're just like, oh man, that sucks. But this one was kind of different where you're like, yeah, the Washington Commanders should have won the game anyway. Like, I'm not really shocked. I'm not too depressed with the Bears because they played like garbage. Outside of DeAndre Swift, what he had 10 completions in the game. Like he looked bad. He looked bad against a terrible defense in the Commanders.
Yeah. Nobody on offense for the Bears did anything. Moore couldn't get open. He only scores 5 points. But again, you're looking at Caleb Williams for that matter.
Yeah.
How did he do?
Cole Kmet does nothing on National Tight Ends Day. That's the only tight end that, Come on, Kmet.
It's hard putting you on a rookie quarterback, but on the other side, you're playing a rookie quarterback. But if you look, he wasn't doing anything either, as far as Jaden Daniels, because they only put up the 17 points or so, and it wasn't until the last Hail Mary that he actually started to get his bonus points to take him over the top. So both of those guys were disappointing to me, I think, when it comes to what the game should have been and what the score should have been.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I see what you're saying. I understand what you're trying to say. there.
Yeah. Devontae Adams, he did really well.
Yeah, Devontae Adams, he did really good.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Good grades.
But
4 out of 10.
those are my duds of the week. All right, who you got for your studs, buddy?
The studs of the week. Any tight end except for, Cole Kmet and boys.
Yeah, exactly. Any tight end, playable tight end except for Cole Kmet. That's it. That's just, you couldn't go anywhere with Cole Kmet. Unbelievable.
It was a big week for the team defenses. Yeah, Pittsburgh defense went off. The Texan defense went off. There's a couple more that got pretty solid numbers if I can look them up real quick.
Yeah. Well, that just teaches you. Yeah, teaches that, hey, don't overlook the defenses in your fantasy lineups. Listen, I know it's tough, and you hate picking up a defense every week, but sometimes, listen, if you're in a league that does not pay for transactions, please, you got to look at your streaming options for the week on defense. Always make sure you look at your streaming options for defense, especially with the injuries, especially this year. Injuries galore. You could easily get some good points at them defenses.
I want to say there was less teams that scored under double digits defensive wise than there were over.
Yeah.
Because every team I'm pulling up was 11, 15, 20, 25, stuff like that. So it's the defenses were running last week. So
yeah, I mean, it looked like
up to them.
It looked like teams were airing the ball out a little bit more this past week. So of course, with throwing the football more, that usually leads to some turnovers. Something usually happens, a sack, fumble, or an interception. So there's always some chances, and then sacks, of course, will become a play, and you can get points that way from your team defenses. Don't forget to look at those streaming options for your team defenses every week.
Yes.
But you said the Texans defense, yeah.
Yeah, Texans defense was good. Solid on Bo Nix and my boy Jalen Hurts. Got to give up to those two quarterbacks.
There you go. Yeah. Bo Nix was a stud, man. God, he was a stud.
He had two tosses and one rushing touchdown. He's like, "Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate you."
Look great. Gotta love it. I like seeing Bo Nix. Bo Nix is everybody wanted to write him off so quick. But that team, that team's not great anyway. But I mean, I really like Bo Nix.
If you go back to last year with that team, Russell Wilson had a good year. He had like 29 touchdowns and like 8 interceptions or something like that. He had a good year.
Yeah, statistically,
wanted to talk about it. Everyone wanted to talk about his contract in the first year that he came in and was playing it.
Yeah,
but it was coming around.
Yeah,
no. So
absolutely no.
It looks like it's gonna in the next 2 or 3 years. Sean Payton might have that team back in the playoffs.
That team could get dangerous really quick. I know he's that defense looks good. They're just young enough to where you still got a little bit of time to rebuild that offense and retool it. You got some decent young receivers.
I was going to say, he's got 3 good running backs.
Well,
he's got 2 solid receivers.
I don't know. That's my biggest worry is that running back. Javonte Williams is, I don't think he's very good. And McLaughlin is a little too small to be that, in between the tackles. I think that's what you need. I think you need a in the middle between the tackles running back in that offense.
Well, they had that little thunder and lightning with Javonte Williams and McLaughlin.
Yeah, but
I like McLaughlin. I think he's
good.
He's got some spark to him.
He looks like a little Darren Sproles to me.
Yeah, and when Javonte Williams wants to run and get physical, he's one of the better backs.
But he doesn't.
If you can get him to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to. He doesn't like physical stuff.
Stop being it.
My nail. Don't break my nail.
Yes. Him and Caleb Williams.
Yeah, exactly.
Years and
exactly. That's where he's at. That's what threw him off this week. That's why they played so bad. They were probably getting manicures together. Caleb Williams painting my nails. Unbelievable.
Yes.
But yeah, my studs of the week. Of course, I got to go with Ladd McConkey. You got to go with Ladd McConkey. McConkey had a week. Herbert and the Chargers look to be throwing the ball a lot more. Damn you, Harbaugh, because I have so much J.K. Dobbins. The Miami Dolphins offense gets right. Devon Achane looks good. Finally, you're not loading 8 in a box. That's not Devon Achane's strength where he's going to beat, a stacked box. He needs that Tua threats to get the ball into Tyreek's hands. That opens up the field for him. And, of course, I got to give another shout-out to my boy on National Tight Ends Day, Cade Otton, coming through for me in the clutch with 2 tutties.
2 touchdowns. Not 1, but 2.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And, excuse me. But the one thing, I thought, Kyle Pitts had 2 touchdowns. I don't think that the second one should have counted.
Who had, you were cutting in a little bit. What was that?
Kyle Pitts had 2 touchdowns. I don't think the second one should have counted. I thought he got knocked out before he crossed the line. Where you pulled the Leon Lett.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Oh, it was brutal. Yeah, brutal move. If Antoine Winfield was paying a little more closer attention, he would have knocked that out at 2, and it would have been done. Yeah,
or just took the ball himself.
Oh yeah, he could have just
Come
said,
up and
thank
grabbed
you,
it.
like it was a handoff.
Yep.
Oh, but all right, you got any other studs you want to talk about for the week?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
JG, man.
How you get 127 yards on 11 carries?
Oh, and what was the stat? Goff's stat line was terrible because he didn't have to play. He was special teams and the running game did all the work.
And they put up 50? They put up a 50 burger on him?
52. And I don't even think Goff had like 160 yards passing. It was something abysmal. It was abysmal. Like he did it. There was no, I think, David Montgomery, I believe, had more touchdown passes. Did he?
It's not fair.
It's
not fair when
I just know they did not have to rely on Goff, which is, that's awesome. You don't have to rely on your quarterback that well.
Well, here's Goff's stat line. 12 of 15, 85 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, there he goes. 85 yards. Not even 100 yards. They had more. The running game had more yards from one running back than Goff had passing. But when you're starting with a short field every week, I mean, every play, every series, you're taking, that special teams is putting you in a good spot. That's what you're going to get. And there was that big yard, 70-yard run from Gibbs. That was huge. And then they started off in, the opposing territory every series. So, hey, Detroit, it was a close game. I was like, wow, I thought Tennessee had something up their sleeve, and it was 14-14, and then it ended with one team still having 14 points, and the other one with 52.
I'm cruising the fantasy teams here, and I'm looking at what we got. Team Phantom, Mr. Brian, is rolling with 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's got some QBs.
He's got one on his taxi squad too with Drake May. But he's got Purdy on the bench, Herbert on the bench.
Yeah, Herbert, and
he's starting Mahomes.
Yeah.
Was he just collecting quarterbacks to try to get trade bait?
He's trying to find the right fit for his squad. He's running a specific type ball. He is, and for our league with the limited bench spots, I'm shocked that he has 3 quarterbacks. That the taxi squad thing, I get. Okay, all right, maybe you're looking to hit one because Mahomes is not great for fantasy, and he hasn't been for the last couple of years. No. Purdy, but to hold on to Purdy and who else did he have? I'm sorry,
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, yes. To hold on to
the rest of it, the rest of his bench is either hurt or on the puck.
Yeah.
With Mike Evans, Jama Williams, and T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah.
So if any of his players go down, he's screwed.
Yeah. I thought he would have dropped one of those quarterbacks a while back, and I was actually shocked when he picked up Herbert because I think he had Mahomes and Purdy to begin the season, and then picked up Herbert. So I was kind of shocked at that. But hey, what's his record? I can't talk.
He's 5-3.
Yeah, I can't talk. He's got a better record than I do. So
he's living with he's living on the CeeDee Lamb Kyle Pitts this week.
He's making his living on CeeDee Lamb. He's like, throw that ball to CD, baby. But all right, guys. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we've got for today, guys. Running a little long today. Shaun, thanks for always joining the show. Appreciate it, man.
My pleasure, sir.
And guys, join us every Tuesday. I know we weren't here last Tuesday. We had some technical difficulties, but join us every Tuesday here for Touchdowns and Trash Talks. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Get notified when new content comes out, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye. Suck it, Nathan.
Hey, it's Jesse from the Vegas Guys Locker Room. You guys ever thought about starting your own podcast? Whether it be for business, personal, or simply talking about the things you love? Well, I can honestly say when we started our podcast, it was the best decision and it's the most fun we've ever had. But starting a new podcast can be overwhelming at times. And that's where Buzzsprout comes in. Buzzsprout is the best way to start your own professional podcast. They're so good, they've already helped out over 100,000 podcasters get their message out to the world. Buzzsprout offers you so many tools, like a great-looking podcast website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, and tools to promote your episodes, and more and more and more. Buzzsprout even gets your show listed on every major podcast platform, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. They provide so many tools to help you get started with tutorials on YouTube, podcast tutorials, everything you may need to get your journey started. So if you're looking to start your professional podcast today, follow the link in the show notes. This lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you and help support our show. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to start a podcast.